with Peter Ferguson, Lincoln Public. He's a ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, good morning and welcome to 93.7 The Ticket on Sunday. I think, what is it, April 16th? I don't even have the date. I'm still looking at the dates. Yeah, April 16th. We had a week off. This is Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC and Lincoln Public Schools, and glad to be back. We got I don't want to say a newbie running the board. It's an old seasoned vet. How you doing this morning?
Oh, not too bad. Usually sleeping in a little bit on Sunday, so bear with me if I'm a little bit slow today.
Hey, that's okay. You might have been out there at prom. You want to tell everybody who you are this morning? And I know they recognize the voice, but
yeah, Jake Bakoven. With the captain and do the ticket water cooler as well during the weekdays. So.
Awesome. Glad to have you in, Jake. And like I said, you're probably out there with the prom with all the kids, the scholars this weekend. I saw we got actually a couple people in that's coming in from prom. I don't even know if they went home this morning, but I saw East had prom. I think Waverly. I want to believe Lincoln High. I'm not sure. You start seeing that thread of pictures on your Facebook post, and you're like, okay, people are out and about doing their thing. So hope everybody had a good time that had prom this weekend and we're safe. And as I always sometimes when I leave the office, people always like make good choices. So I'm certain they did. So, but how's the week been going? You guys have been kicking it, and you had the Masters weekend, I think, last week. And so that was kind of cool to listen to and catch up with.
Yeah. It's I think the weekend's going pretty good. We're getting close, of course. Husker football spring game a week away, so we always kind of build up to that. NBA playoffs now going, so I mean the sports world's always ticking. Maybe a little bit in the summer. There's just baseball going on, and you kind of reach out for things to do. But that's why I love this job. There's always something kind of new every day that you don't even expect pops up in the sports world.
Yeah, and it's been kind of cool, just kind of on a a K through 12 system. You have a lot of the spring things going on. So I know LPS got a couple track meets in yesterday, and it was kind of brutal weather. Just to be perfectly honest, I actually was out and about. I did the autism 5K run out at the Lancaster Event Center, and so first time I've been out in a while and publicly showcased my non-speed on a course that was pretty rough, but saw the junior highs had the track meet. There's been soccer going on, and so that's kind of in full swing, kind of heading to that district, those hack tournaments and the district tournaments, and then heading into state, and then baseball as well. You've got area baseball teams and high school baseball going to that stretch, and so it's kind of just tennis, and you can kind of go on, and then also don't want to forget the arts side of things. We've got the final shows for a lot of those schools doing their productions. Most of them are kind of winding up, and so I saw Northwest is having their facility isn't finished, so they're doing theirs at Northeast, and so I always want to kind of give a shout out and promote them. They've had some phenomenal things going on, but faced some adversity, just not really having kind of a home field, so to speak, and are doing a show over there. I think Sweeney Todd was done at one of the places. So, also just want to make sure you recognize, those other aspects.
Oh, absolutely. I wish I'd done more of that when I was in high school. I didn't, lean toward that, but I think it's a lot of fun. And, it like you said, kind of with this time of the year too, it's important to, it's always, we talk about student athletes, you got the student first, and, coming up on the end of the year and grades and all that. It's a delicate balance.
Yeah. And like I said, we got those elementary schools, they're kind of doing some of that testing, and then the high school too, you're thinking about graduation. And it's kind of cool. We've got two scholars in here today, but, kind of get to hear about their plans, but not only just that graduation from, high school graduation, but you're also seeing that transition from, middle school to high school. And then kind of probably even the more scary one is the elementary to middle school. You start talking to some of them, and there's that excitement, but also kind of like, what's going to happen? Like, okay, I'm no longer going to be like king or queen on the top. So kind of watching that. And then, for me personally, I've got a college graduation. So daughter's graduating from college. They've finished on May 7th. So it's a little bit earlier than kind of a lot of the Nebraska systems, but just kind of surreal to realize, seemed like 4 years, which was 4 years ago, we were just over at PBA, having her walk across the stage. And now we're going to be at Northwest Missouri State and watching her cross that stage with a different type of degree and then go on to her graduate work.
Oh, congratulations! That's always a big day for any family, and it's kind of funny you talk about the fear of going from middle school to that's another one jumping out from it's a blessing, depending on what you're doing. Like you said, if you're going to graduate college, you have more studies in front of you, but there's always every transition. There's a little bit of a fear and a little bit of a adjustment period that takes place, but life goes on. You make the most of it.
Well, it makes you just feel old is what it was. You're just trying to be real polite and everything and be like, okay, you're an old man. That's what it is. But, other than that, in the sports world, you got the, WNBA had their draft. And so that was, really, after an exciting Final Four, I don't even, I just, probably, I don't ever want to say one of the best ever watched, that publicity and that insight given. So that was cool to see. Off the heels of that, you got the NBA playoffs going on. And then, a lot of people don't realize close to home, we got the NFL draft going on down the street in Kansas City next weekend. I think it's next weekend. The 28th, 27th, 28th. And so, I know a lot of people heading down there, but excited to see what my Cowboys do. I think they're at pick 26, need them to move up to about, 16, 17, 18 to go ahead and get a running back. But that's just a personal thing. I always tell Harrison I got to do one Cowboys drop a show.
Oh, yeah. Well, fair enough. That's America's team, right? And
most definitely. Most definitely. No, anybody going in on the text line, I see a couple, faces turn up there and everything else. But it's been exciting. Good Easter for you.
Yeah, absolutely. My son just turned 2 years old.
Oh, okay.
And so we've tried a few of the Easter egg hunts, and he didn't really get it. And then finally, once he picked it up, we did an Easter egg hunt. He kind of started getting the Easter eggs, and then it was done. And then for the next hour and a half, he kept trying to take me out there and said, eggs. I said, well, hey. But we took him out there anyway. He still looked, but they weren't there anymore.
You got to teach him to be competitive right there. It's like you go get the eggs, and if somebody picks up the one you want right before they crack it open, you see the money in it, you got to go snatch it. He's young enough. He's so cute. Nobody's going to probably say anything. They're just going to let him have it, make a profit off those things.
He did. I'm not going to feed him any chocolate yet, so he got a bunch of chocolate for me. So I was benefiting from it. If I would have, I should have taught him to be more competitive. Maybe, but have more chocolate for myself.
Oh, no, awesome. Other than that, during the course of the week, like I said, I always want to give a shout out to some of our educators out there in just different areas, and they're kind of winding up the week as well. And so, it's that fourth quarter home stretch, and just really, like I said, there are a number of colleagues, and I don't mean just our classroom educators. I appreciate AD and RAF, just giving some shout outs on goodness on our food service people, the technicians that are out there, our student advocates, our bilingual liaisons, and then, also transportation. All those areas. And I don't mean just Lincoln Public Schools. I mean, when you think about Seward and Creed and, Waverly and your surrounding listening area, those individuals, like a lot of people, but they have put in work this year. And so just would be remiss if I didn't give them, a shout out of appreciation. Those people who've, those officials, that's an area that, I've recently was in a conversation and I used to do that, and you're short, really short on. And so a lot of them are carrying a lot of games and, sometimes not the best atmosphere of sportsmanship on all the ends. And so just want to make sure, when RAF is doing those goodness things, I just kind of want to carry that on a little bit too. And also shoot out to those individuals that they're appreciated. And thanks for giving their time. And also those parents and grandparents that are just, kind of shuffling people one game or the other, sitting out there in the weather and watching things. It's great to see people back out again and showing that support. So just wanted to kind of give that shout out. And we've got a great group coming up. Scholars back in the building, I guess I want to say, and really excited. We got Taryn Anderson, who I've known her family in different capacities for a while before she was even probably imagined. This was probably scaring her. She's like, that means you're old again. So she's like, what did you do with your beard? Why isn't it gray like my dad's? It's that just for men treatment.
Oh, there you go.
That
You've been
just for
using
men
it.
treatment every morning. But she is a phenomenal scholar. As we talked about, graduating over at Lincoln North Star, and as a soccer player, but also as a tremendous, in classroom individual, but also has persevered through some unique things. And so she'll be sharing and talking about that. And then somebody who's not who is familiar to the station and the show, who's been making the rounds, is Hope Shortridge, who had an announcement this week, which was really cool. They are going to be broadcasting the East Southwest baseball game, I believe Wednesday. And so it's kind of the first time that has been done. And she was on the show earlier. She's at the Bay High School. Shout out to Mike Smith and the rest of the staff over there. And also at East High School, my alma mater, class of 91. So there you go. Go Spartans. And just, like I said, I think it's what this is about when we talk about bigger than the score. I mean, her brother plays, and I know they want East to win and this, that, and the other. But for me, what the ticket's about is about integrating and getting into the community and providing opportunities where there's been some gaps. And so having the scholars on, but also opportunities like this, are not things that haven't existed. They're things that should exist. And so I'm really excited about building on that. So she'll be on the second segment. But with that being said, we'll go here to a break. You're on Bigger Than the Final Score, 93.7 The Ticket with Peter Ferguson.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics, 9 a.m. on Sunday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply at GainaTrucking.com.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally did. Check this. It's actually really easy and it's easy to use.
I definitely will. Thanks.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Sean Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Waldo Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Blyker with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Blyker with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC and his truck at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra light duty, Silverado light duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty right now at Koppel. So do not wait. Now is the to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade in and finance with Koppel Brew Credit.
Mary Ellen's Food. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What? Never empty. That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet from 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even day. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson from Lincoln Public School on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson. Again, Peter Ferguson, BHS LLC and Lincoln Public Schools. And here with Jake, he got up this morning and got the alarm going. Said he had to escape the house with a little 2-year-old, right?
That's right, yeah. My wife's taking care of the morning duties. So.
Awesome. Well, hey, no, appreciative of him being here, and we're going to roll right into it. Excited to have scholar Taryn Anderson, who is a scholar at Lincoln North Star High School, and she'll tell you a little bit more about that. But how things going this morning, Taryn?
It's going good. How about you?
Awesome. Now, did you have prom last night?
No.
Okay, your proms was
Next
that
week.
Next week?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get some more some more of the threads on Facebook here coming in next week with North Star. So, hey, Taryn, let's just start off by telling just a little bit. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. Did you always go to school here in Lincoln, elementary, middle, high school? Kind of tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, so I've always lived in Lincoln, Nebraska. Where elementary school, I was in Cooser.
Okay.
Then I went to SCO for middle school, and now I'm currently at North Star.
Okay, so she was a SCO Skyhawk and then went over to North Star as a navigator. And so tell us who's in your family.
So it's my mom and dad
Okay.
and my younger sister, Kendall, and I have 2 dogs at home.
Okay, fantastic. You want to give them a name shout out? I always do that. I appreciate the fact you said your mom first. We've had a couple times people have come in here and forget somebody in their family. So it's a great time. Give them a shout out real quick.
Yeah, so I have both sets of my grandparents at home, like here in Lincoln.
Okay.
I have my aunt and uncle with my 3 cousins, and just
Awesome.
living, thriving in Lincoln.
Awesome. So you talked about a little bit where you got to school at North Star. You're at North Star. Tell us a little bit. What do you do at North Star? What have you been involved with right now, just at high school wise?
So I've mainly been in the soccer program, and I've been there all 4 years, even throughout COVID.
Okay.
Which kind of threw off freshman year. But with it, just kind of help supporting. We did concessions with all the different kind of sports. We even got to do football a couple of times. which is pretty good. But yeah,
Awesome. So you said so your freshman year was the COVID year,
yeah.
in quote, or there's COVID years, but was that? Tell a little bit about like we've heard, but I mean we're getting 2, 3, 4 years away. What was that like when we talked earlier about transitions? So from middle school, and then all of a sudden you go to high school, and it's like, wait a minute, this isn't what I expected.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. Like I think for freshman year, I didn't really think much of it just because it was kind of an afterthought, I felt like, with some of the curriculum, but with it, like we still had the opportunity to learn about it. It was just not really hands-on with it. But then once it was sophomore year, then it was kind of like, okay, this is kind of pretty weird with the different like Zoom. And then also like in the second semester is like 50-50. So like some people went to Zoom, some people were in school, but it was never the same for both of them. So
Wow. Yeah, I can only imagine. Like we kind of you start seeing things kind of come back on just threads, and it's like that anniversary and the drive-by graduations and those different things. And so you will have that unique perspective because I think you're the first graduating class that has gone all 4 years that experienced that at the start. So I'd say in a lot of ways, congratulations, but also thank you for persevering and being a part of that. So you talked about you play soccer over at North Star. Talk a little bit about like where did your interest in athletics start? And I have to, full disclosure, I know your parents, and so I actually went to college with them. And so you're like, okay, this old man's in here interviewing me in regards to things. But where did your interest in sports start? Did it start because of them? Was it something you saw other people doing? You're like, this is something I want to do, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't remember exactly how I wanted to start it. I just remember I started at a very young age. I started from micro soccer.
Okay.
So I just kept developing as time went on, kept moving to different clubs, and I finally just reached to Extreme, which became FC Lincoln.
Okay.
So I've been there for probably roughly with Extreme and FC, maybe 8 years or a little bit more.
Wow.
So yeah.
So when you talk about micro soccer, for Jay here, who's got a 2-year-old, I call that the amoeba soccer. The ball goes here and everybody, it's like da-da-da, and it's like even the goalie. So what do you remember just about kind of like what interests you to kind of get past that, to kind of say, you know what, I want to keep playing this. This is something that kind of not only interests me, but I have some skill sets that would be really kind of cool to take to that next level.
I felt like it was just the experience really that I really enjoyed. It was the friendships I made, like my ability to connect with other people too. Like even though like we were younger and stuff, like I just felt like it was special with what we had as a team. Not really, it's just like people that came together. It was more of just like we all came with a certain agreement that let's play, let's have fun. So I think it was just more of the experience.
Awesome. And so as you've kind of gone through that, like, elementary, middle school, and high school, I always ask this question, like, what's something, and knowing your family and kind of knowing a little bit about your journey, like, what is something that people like just, even looking at you, or I always say, what's something that's not on, it's not on your resume, that you've had to kind of engage in, work through, and also been part of maybe some of the successes that you had?
Yeah, so I have immunodeficiency, called specific antibody deficiency, which makes me kind of more prone to being sick to different illnesses, and I might have it for a longer period of time than others. And I also have Crohn's disease, and I got diagnosed with that in middle school when I was in 8th grade. So like not much people like know about it like on the outside for me now, just because of how healthy I've become. But later on, like I didn't even think I'd be able to play soccer when I was in 8th grade.
Wow. So tell us, like, for those that aren't, when you talked about the immune piece and everything, like what does that mean to you as a middle school student? What led up to kind of that diagnosis, and then you realizing that, and then kind of some of the emotions, the highs and lows that you had with that?
Yeah, so for my immune deficiency, like I just kept getting sick with sinus infections and pneumonia and stuff like that. And we just didn't really know why. And we finally went to one of my doctors up in Children's Hospital of Omaha, Dr. Niebuhr, and we did some testing, and it found out that I had specific antibody deficiency, which makes me more prone to like some of those diseases. So like I didn't really think too much of it at the beginning, but like with the different treatment I've been taking and stuff to help it, have to be more careful. So I kind of thought it like brought to the light like how there's like certain things I need to be more careful of. Like when people go to the lake, I can't really go to the lake because there's different stuff that could get me sick or more prone to being getting sick. So like I just had to be more careful than the usual person with different stuff like that.
So you talked about that. What about like school in general, and then also sports? Because you talked about like I didn't know if I was going to be able to do sports, and then did COVID kind of impact kind of some of the things that you were able to do, and then maybe things you had to maybe put some additional consideration in whether you could do it or not?
So in the very beginning, like I was probably down to like 50 pounds and I just couldn't do anything. And like I remember the day before I got diagnosed, like a couple of days before, like I just could barely go up the stairs. Like it was just hard for me. But so the day after I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease and I started getting a treatment plan written up, it kind of brought hope to me just because I kind of thought like maybe I can do this. And so actually for COVID, it was a blessing for me because for Zoom, I was able to do it in the hospital whenever I had a flare up with my gut. So I didn't have to like miss the school experience necessarily. So I could be in the hospital bed and watching Zoom with my teachers as if I'm not even in the hospital. So like, even though I was in Omaha, I was still getting the experience I needed to school to learn, but while it was still in Lincoln. So, and also for soccer, when I had my with Crohn's and I had a flare up, I had to put an NG tube in, which is like a nutrients thing. It's a tube that goes up into your nose and into your stomach. So even though I still had that in, I still tried out for soccer my sophomore year. I just clipped it behind on my shirt and I kept playing.
Okay. Well, and I think that's, just hearing kind of, we use the word persevere, persevering, but just hearing kind of, how you became adaptable and the different things, but you also didn't quit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times people think about, okay, how do I keep going? With all that, like who were some people that provided you support during that time, and what did that support look like?
I feel like a lot of the support came from my family, my coaches over the years I've had for soccer, and some of my teachers I've had at North Star.
Fantastic. What did that support look like? And then, we'll start with that. What did that support, look like for you during those times?
I felt like just being there when I really needed it the most. Like when I was first getting diagnosed, no one knew what was wrong with me. My ankles were swollen. Just everything was out of whack and they didn't really know what. So I had multiple tests run and stuff like that. But I always had my family in the back corner with me, there to just support me, whether it was calling, seeing me, or anything like that. I'd say my soccer coaches, when I wasn't able to play, I was able to still be part of the team, whether that be helping coach from the sidelines or just being able to soak in the experience. I felt it was very impactful.
Awesome. You're on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. We're here with Taryn Anderson, who is a senior at North Star High School, and she's telling us about her journey, and it's fairly unique. And I think we've talked about like people who've been mentors or and supported you in your journey. But how during all this, how do you feel like you have impacted other individuals? I'll be honest, it wasn't something I was extremely aware of prior, and knowing your dad and seeing some of the things that put out, for whether, and I hate saying fundraisers, but just, I always say awareness opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
How have you felt like you've made an impact on others, just not only through maybe this disease, but also as a person?
I feel like I'm very public about it just because not many people understand it. Just because like with the immune deficiency, like it's only like 1 in 4,000 people have it. It's very rare. So not a lot of people know about it. Some people may think it's fake or anything like that. So I just want to bring out to the light and just talk about it because not many people know about it. And I just feel like I could be the person if there's someone else in the world who may not want to speak up, who may not want to say, hey, I have this disease. It may be embarrassing or anything like that, but just bring out, like, talk about it and bring awareness to it to try and find a cure for if it's possible to find a cure.
And I think, just hearing your voice, you said if it's possible, not if, but when it happens.
Mhm.
And I think that's always important to put forward. So we'll talk a little bit later in the following segment, like how people can support, whether it be financially or different opportunities. But tell us a little bit about your journey at North Star High School. I mean, your K through 12 journey. You're getting ready to here walk the stage. You got the senior pictures. I saw
Mhm.
those and everything. Your mom's here. She's shedding a little tear, not ready quite to let her baby go. But tell us a little bit about what all that's looked like, and some moments that you've had that you're like, I'm going to take this with me forever.
Yeah, so I've taken a lot of AP classes throughout the years.
Now explain what that is. Rico might be listening. He's never had one of those. So if you could spell that out and just be real slow for us.
Yeah, so it's basically college classes
Okay.
taken in high school.
Okay.
And it's just more difficult. It's kind of like a diff, but then it's a little bit above a diff class. So I've taken like AP Bio, AP Chemistry, AP Lit, and just all those different kind of stuff like that. And I've really enjoyed them just because it's a different experience. And just the teachers bring out a different point of view with it.
Wow. And so, what are you looking to, as you've gone through, like what was one class that you just was like, okay, this is kind of honed in, where I want to go maybe in the future? Or
Yeah, I'd say definitely the science classes I've taken.
Okay.
So one of my favorite classes was AP Chemistry with Miss Vesley,
Okay.
who was there. She was just an amazing teacher. She she was able to reach out to all the different students, have just like a one-on-one conversation, and just kind of know if something's up, something's the matter. And she's very flexible when it came to that kind of stuff, because she knew you're human and you're always going to make mistakes, but you're able to just fix them if need be.
Wow. When you talk about that, and I have to, be just fully transparent. I didn't do a ton of AP classes when I was going through. And so I think that's amazing that you not only did that, but with everything else you had going on, and family, sports, and kind of the challenges you were facing to maintain that level. I think for just anybody that's going through life, that not a lot's happening is a lot, but to be able to crush that the way you're doing is phenomenal. What is something that you would recommend, like a piece of advice that you would give to scholars coming up, either your peers now or that are younger? What's a piece of advice looking back that you would say, hey, I just need to give this to you and it's going to help you in your life?
I just say take time with assignments and stuff. Kind of set a time period for how long you want to do stuff. Don't try and push everything back until the last minute or anything like that and just cram it all in. Just try and do little bits and times every day. Even just glance over notes you have in a certain class, just because it's going to be beneficial in the long run.
Well, I don't know. That's just for young people, but as adults, because I was going to ask you on the opposite side, what's advice that you would give to, I say seasoned individuals, adults, that they need to take with them?
I'd say just be understanding, just because the experience that they had when they were growing up is quite different than what it is today. And that's even going to be once my generation and stuff grows up. The younger generations below us, they're going to be having a different experience. So just be understandable and flexible with the way that they may experience things.
So give us an example. How have your parents shown their flexibility or understanding towards you?
I have decent freedom when it comes to my car.
Okay.
And I'm able to just drive around if I want, go shopping if I want. But then as long as I just let them know where I'm planning on going, they're totally fine with it.
So a lot of parents out there shut the mic off, shut the mic. I don't need my kid hearing that or whatever else. But I think you've earned that. I think it's one of those things that it's not just something that they give. I mean, it's kind of a mutually beneficial. You earn that trust. And then, if there's things you're not doing, it gets taken away, but vice versa. They have to, they have to earn your trust as well on those type of things. What, we'll talk about later, but what are your future plans? I mean, that's that $20,000 question. What are you going to do after high school? I'm not just after high school. What are your future plans for Taryn Anderson if you were to come back here in 10 years?
So I'm planning on going to UNL, and I'm going to be majoring in microbiology. I don't know what I'm going to minor in yet, but just probably in the science field.
Jake, I just keep sitting there. She's like, okay, I'm going to major in microbiology. And that stopped me right there. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to minor in yet. I'm like, you have to add something else. I was like, I'd have just put the micro and been like, hey, put that on the degree and I'm good to go. So, that's huge in itself. And so, what are some things you're looking forward to? You're kind of in your final stretch here at school. You've got soccer. Tell us about the soccer team a little bit, and shout out to your teammates. What is that looking like for you here for kind of the rest of the season?
So it's a bit of a different dynamic out, like also just because I'm also playing with my sister too.
Okay.
So it's kind of a fun senior year with my sister, but I feel like we've really developed as a team. Like we've done better than what we did last year,
Awesome.
but I mean, we could still be doing better and stuff like that. So we're still going to be playing. We have a couple of games ahead, and I'm just looking forward to every last moment.
Awesome. So you're getting to play with your sister. What's that like? Like, what's the best part about that? And then what's the piece that you're like, man, not a challenge, but you're just like, it's just, it's just that one piece that you're like, playing with your sister is cool, and then playing with your sister brings this kind of dynamic to things.
Yeah, no, but so she's on defense and I'm more up top.
Okay.
So we're on different sides of the fields, but one moment to remember was senior night, and so we were against Northeast, and so first half is 0-0, they're ahead, and in the last 5 minutes of the second half, we scored 3 goals, which was just amazing. And the last goal was my sister, Kendall Anderson, in the last 10 seconds.
Wow.
And it was just because they pushed her up, got the ball from a goal kick, and just went right in.
That's awesome. And that's something you'll, like I said, never forget. And I think your family, but also your teammates get to celebrate that opportunity with you as well. What's the one thing, like playing with your sister, and I know her, as a competitor that you're watching, you're like, man, okay, this is the one thing sometimes she gets on my nerves about.
It's more of just like, I feel like she just does so much better than me. She's just over here. She's just like fouling in the box, just all that kind of stuff. And I'm just up top trying to link passes together. She gets more of the action, more so in the game than what would usually be in a club game. So she gets more of the action. I'm just kind of waiting up top, just waiting.
well, that's all right. You just say, you know what? I'm the team captain. I'm here. I'm the integral part of everything that's going on, this, that, and the other. Tell us, a couple other things that I was kind of inquiring about. I want to just kind of go back to, the things you face. I don't like calling it a challenge, with Crohn's and et cetera, but like, what does that look like, across the country for scholars, and then just also potentially scholar athletes?
So like, it's more different for every individual. Like I'm able to, like with Zoom, I was able to do some of my classes and learn, but over the years, some people, they didn't have the opportunity of Zoom, because teachers wouldn't want to zoom in just one student if they're having a flare up or anything like that. And like, I can't personally have like strawberries or blueberries. Like I have to be careful of my diet, but I know some people, they can't have like nuts or salads and stuff like that. Like I knew someone who had Crohn's in the throat, because it can range from the throat all the way down to your stomach. So it's a very weird disease, and it ranges for each individual. So the experience is quite different for everyone.
So the specialization on just in regards to finding what works for you is very different. You can't just go to somebody else and be like, hey, we have a like experience. Even within it, there's differences.
But then there's always a way to like connect with people, because like with Camp Oasis, like I was a part of for Zoom for a little bit.
So what is that?
It's like a camp basically for people with Crohn's and or colitis.
Okay.
And you just get to experience like outdoors with doctors on hand if need be, to give you medication, but just to have fun and be as normal as someone could be. Wow. So like you just get to meet someone else who is fighting the same fight as you, and it's just a great experience.
So not only with that, you get to develop a community and a network. And is it people from across the country?
Yeah,
or
it's
just in the Midwest?
Everyone from like anyone from America. There's different spots for Camp Oasis in like Minnesota and places like that. Like there's multiple different areas, but it kind of makes you feel like you're not alone, because sometimes with diseases and you don't want to go forth about it, you may feel like you're all alone and stuff, but the true thing is like you're not.
What's I think one of the questions is, how do people support individuals? So, once individuals became aware or knowledgeable, what's the best way did you feel like, okay, this was the support that I needed? I didn't want pity. I didn't want people being like, woe is me. I'm still going to play soccer. I'm still going to go out there and crush it. What is a way people can support, like, not only you, but then also support others that might be facing something similar?
I just say, like, if you know someone who is, just be kind and considerate of them. They might not want to be as public as like I would be, but just be kind of kind. Just know, like, they're going through something. Don't judge them off of it, or just like when you see someone, don't judge them, because you never know if there's something going on. But yeah, just be kind, considerate, and maybe even just like put forth some funds and stuff for the organization.
And I think the last thing is, you just talked about the organization. How can people just publicly that want to get more information about Crohn's, colitis, where can they go to get that information? And then what's the best way for them to support? Is it financially? Is it just being aware? Is there things they need to go to the doctor about?
So you could go to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. There's a website. And there's also a lot of Take Steps walks too that someone could go to. There's one here in Lincoln, and it's at the Lincoln Children's Zoo.
Do you know when that is?
I don't know if they've set a time yet,
Okay.
but it's usually in the fall.
Okay.
But there's also one in Omaha. But yeah, just kind of send any money to help donate, because doctors are near a goal for Crohn's. Like colitis, there is like some sort of cure. Like it's not necessarily a treatment plan that's set in stone forever, but there's always challenges with it. But with Crohn's, you just take medication and hope it's the right one.
Awesome. Well, hey, Taryn, we're going to be back on a third segment with you, but you're on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson. We'll be right back after this break.
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car one day and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, the place to do. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415, or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Akers Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Akers Equipment, solutions for every field.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation get a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson from Lincoln Public Schools on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson, and got Jake here who's coming in for the morning. Like I said, didn't escape the 2-year-old duties, but got the early wake-up call, so I'm appreciative of him being in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. It's kind of an enlightening experience here.
Yeah, well, and then you know what? And we didn't say it before, the Honda Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685, and the Sartor Heyman text line. So feel free if you want to shoot us a note or shoot us a message of affirmation for these scholars. We had a great first segment with Taryn Anderson, and she's going to stick around for our second one. But we are joined here with Hope Shortridge, who is I think she's just becoming a mainstay here at the Ticket. I think she's going after somebody's job, but welcome, Hope. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little tired after prom.
I was going to say she rolled in here and I was like, I forgot when I mentioned earlier about the prom, and I'm like, East had their prom, didn't they?
Yes, we did.
Awesome. Got her hair still done and everything. It looked fantastic.
It's too much work to take out. I was like, we're good.
Hey, I look at it this way. If AD and I can go ahead and do our hair one time, we ain't taking it out for years. We're going to go ahead and keep it. But great, a phenomenal announcement this week. And so I wanted to get you on and just share with our audience about the announcement that was this week. And I'll let you go ahead and kind of put it forward.
Yeah, thank you. So I will be broadcasting the Lincoln Southwest versus Lincoln East baseball game at Den Hartog Baseball Field on this coming Wednesday. I keep saying next Wednesday, but it's this Wednesday now, April 19th at 4:30 p.m. And this is a first for me, the Ticket, LPS. It's a big deal, and I'm very happy that this is happening.
And you've got some connections, not just being a Spartan, as I shared earlier that I was a proud Spartan, class of 91. But but you've got a connection on the team and your love for baseball. And tell us a little bit of what that is.
Yeah, so I have a twin brother on the team. Shout out Paul. So I think that helps, just growing up in the game. We were a big sports family, always at the field. I grew up at Haymarket Park. We, when my mom was pregnant with twins, they always kind of joked like, you look like you were going to give birth at Haymarket Park, but no, she had 4 more months left in her. So I've just always been at the field and always been drawn to baseball. And I'm so excited.
Awesome. And I know the Ticket's excited. I know this is had the conversation with DP a couple weeks ago, and he had made note of kind of some of the things that were in the works. And he actually, had reached out. I remember when you started having that contact, and he was like, okay, Hope was on, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, yeah, solid individual. So tell us just briefly, I know you've been on before, but where do you go to school? You go to East High School, but you also attend the Bay High.
Yeah, so I go to Lincoln East. I'm a junior there, but I spend my mornings at the Bay High Focus Program, which is in its first year here as an LPS Focus Program, similar to like the Zoo or Arts and Humanities or TCA. It's the same time frame and everything. The first year, there's always going to be some challenges, but it's been a huge blessing and thing to have on my resume and for them to have on their resume as well. It's going to be one of those programs that down on the line, there's going to be a long wait list.
Yeah. And
to
I think
get into.
it's been transformational. When you know, like the things that are going on and the opportunities that present itself. And I even look at something like this, where I think it's allowed individuals, you're a visionary in a lot of ways, but it's going to allow individuals to realize, okay, these are things that can be done and that can be done, but should be done. And there'll be the resources there to make that happen.
Yeah. So I've started a podcast there with their equipment, which has been, just having the equipment in general. I had to teach myself all the software and everything, which was, a challenge, but you figure it out as you go. But just having that it's equipment is so expensive for anything that you do, and just having it there and their support. I mean, my teachers came in. I filmed one episode in December when we had that school day canceled, and my teachers came in for me so that because it was the one day that I could film this episode with college kids while they were home for break and everything. And so they really go above and beyond there, and they've supported me beyond like everything that I can do. And it's focus programs are so unique because you can really hone in and create like deeper relationships with individuals. Like, yes, I have relationships with the staff at East, but they also have X amount more of students, where at the Bay we have 30.
Right.
So
Well, I think as you think about that podcast and content wise, you just heard Taryn's story, and I saw you kind of, nodding, and there were a lot of takeaways. How would you put hers? Like, just, for those that aren't familiar, like we all listen to podcasts and different components like that, but what did you take away from what she shared, and how would you put that out into the universe?
I think her story is just incredible. We kind of grew up knowing each other a little bit too. And I remember, from an outside perspective, seeing some of her story, but just being able to hear it, and that she's so articulate and well-spoken about it. It was really inspiring. And I think her biggest message that stuck with me was just being kind to all individuals. Cause like at the top line, that's just like the most important value in my life. So it's awesome that it's hers too.
Well, and I didn't realize you all knew each other when I invited both of you to be on the show. So Taryn, tell me, what was the connection between you two?
Yeah, we were at church together when we were younger.
Okay.
So kind of in the same
Sunday school.
Yep.
Okay. So Sunday mornings you're back here together. It's just like a reunion. They came in, they're like, look at us, all grown up. We're back here back here on Sunday mornings. So, as you kind of continue on this, like why baseball, and then kind of why now?
I think why baseball, because I've just always grown up watching the sport and loving the sport. I seriously don't know what it is, but I'm happiest when I'm at baseball and watching baseball. Obviously not playing baseball, but I played softball, but it doesn't really compare. And when I reached out to DP, it was more like a reach for the stars moment. Mm-hmm. This is probably not gonna happen, but hey, you never know until you try. And so he responded and was like, let's talk about this. And I was like, oh, okay.
And that's something, if you have not interacted with DP and you those are one of those things when you say reaching for the stars, the bottom line is going to put you on the moon. Yeah. And so, a tribute and a credit to him and the staff. Absolutely. And just like I said, providing this, opportunity, even this morning, providing on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m., the opportunity to hear your all's voices is huge and significant. So I don't ever say it's like reaching for the stars. Like I said, he's going to put your feet on the moon when and if that, opportunity happens. So, as I look at both of you, both sitting here, and I asked Taryn, I asked you earlier about like advice that you would give. I'm going to kind of ask you same thing, Hope. And then Taryn, I want to kind of expand it a little bit. Just like, what advice would you give like community, I say the nation, the world, whoever's listening, what are some things that you'd be like, hey, I need you to think about this right now as you go forward?
I think, again, going back to the be kind thing, but also with the perspective of like, if someone else is different from me, why does my opinion matter? Mm-hmm. Like, right. So just, being able to all live cohesively in a world with our differences, because everyone is so uniquely different and perfectly made. So just being able to, peacefully exist. I think that would help our world.
I think that inclusion piece is absolutely definitely huge. Taryn, how about you?
I'd say just reach out to other people, see if they need any help. If you see someone who's struggling, help out in any way you can. Doesn't have to be with money or food or anything like that. Just kind of be kind and just talk to them if they need it.
Fantastic. And so, Hope, Taryn, both kind of a question for both of you. What are next steps, for you? And I know, Taryn, you shared a little bit about collegiately, et cetera, but I just mean the kind of those next 3 or 4 months. And then for you, Hope, like long-term 10 years from now.
So yeah, I will probably end up at UNL. I was kind of, going back and forth. I'm a very plan my life out person. So
Okay.
I did college visits to Hastings because that's where my mom went.
Come on, go Broncos, go Broncos. You got a couple in here.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to have that conversation now? The Grace Center was my home.
Yep. So I've had college visits, but I've really been working with CoJMC, College of Journalism here at UNL, and Alex Fernando, and I have a mentor there, Faith Warden, who is incredible, and they've really been like showing me what it would be like to go to UNL, and so I'll probably end up there. As for broadcasting, I'm excited to see where this takes me. I'm not really sure exactly where it's going to go, but I'm just here for the journey and excited for it.
No, it's definitely going to be a great journey. And you're winding up your school year at your high school career. What are you looking forward to in the next, I don't even know, we got 6 weeks?
I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to the summer, one last year, to just kind of have fun, go out before college and stuff like that. But also I'm kind of looking forward to next soccer season for high school. I think I'm going to help out with the community and go back and help maybe coach.
Awesome. I know the Gators would look forward to having you there. So again, I want to thank both of you. Hope, what time's the game on Wednesday?
4:30 p.m.
Fantastic. And Taryn, people, if they want to help out, contact the Crohn's.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
Fantastic. I want to thank Hope. I want to thank Taryn for being on today. I want to thank Jake. And I always just kind of try to close with a quote. And the one that stuck with me in these last couple of weeks is one by Maya Angelou. And Maya Angelou talked about continue. So continue to astonish a mean, cold world with random acts of kindness. And so please, I just ask that everybody continue to do that with random acts of kindness. And until next week, you're on 93.7 The Ticket, bigger than the score.